Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lizzie. I make content around sobriety, being sober in my 20s, living my life without alcohol as part of it. Thank you for coming to my little corner of the internet. I so appreciate you being here. But we're back today with another sobriety video, which I'm really excited for. I'm a little dressed up today. I don't know if you can tell. I went for something a little bit more fun, zebra. What do we think? I'm kind of into it. I feel like of all the animal prints, zebra is the most underrated. I'm not much of a leopard kind of gal myself, but I think I can get behind the zebra. I'm really feeling myself today because I am off work. I have a long weekend because tomorrow is my birthday, and so I just thought I'd treat myself. I don't really have any big plans. I'm not going anywhere, but I just wanted to have a really lovely, relaxing time to start my new year off, my next trip around the sun. And that really brings us into today's video, which is something that has come up in the comments a lot on my other sobriety videos, and that is how to have fun when you're not drinking. And this is one that I feel very passionately about, and I've kind of touched on it in other content as well, but I really want to sit down and chat a little bit about what fun means to me and how I have fun now that I don't drink alcohol and haven't drank in 3 years. Also, my drink for the past few weeks has been the Snapple Peach Iced Tea, the 0 sugar one. So good. Tastes like the best moments of my childhood. Just such a nostalgic flavor. So yummy. So grab a drink and let's chat. Now, I think for many people, myself included before I quit drinking, alcohol and fun were very synonymous, right? Alcohol made things fun when I was doing fun things like going out or hanging out with my friends or hanging out with my partner, or anytime I was doing something that was supposed to be fun, I was probably drinking. And that was just kind of standard, right? Alcohol becomes a part of fun. And that's just a cultural thing. Many places in the world, if not most places in the world, alcohol is just a way that we've been told we have fun. And even if you don't feel like drinking, like you need to drink to have fun, chances are that when you're doing fun things, you might even be drinking without even realizing that you're drinking. And I've talked about this in other videos, but there's sort of this subconscious habit of drinking, right? Where you might not need to drink, you might not have an addiction to alcohol or even have a particularly bad experience with drinking, but drinking is just something that you do without even making a conscious choice to drink, right? You arrive at a party, someone puts a drink in your hand and you're drinking it for the rest of the night. It's just how we do things, which is why it's also so easy to start drinking a lot, because you're not even really making a conscious choice to drink in a lot of cases, if that makes sense. Stick with me here, I'm onto something, a bigger point. After years of doing this, when you kind of take a step back and you're like, oh, maybe I want to take a break from drinking, or maybe I want to stop drinking altogether, you suddenly have this moment of panic of oh my God, I'm never gonna have fun again, because in your brain, just from your experiences, fun is directly linked to drinking, and you might not really know what fun looks like without alcohol. At the end of the day, this is sort of the biggest part of my message for today's video, is that it takes time and it takes practice to understand what fun really is once you sort of take alcohol out of the equation. But don't panic, it's a lot easier than you might think. I think I said this in one of my very first sobriety videos. I think it might have been Annie Grace in This Naked Mind. It has stuck with me since. And she said, okay, if you went into a room with no phone, no books, no TV, no friends, nothing to do, just an empty room, imagine a padded cell, and you had a bottle of wine or beers or whatever your drink of choice is, and you just sat there and you drank, would you be having fun? The point of the mental exercise being oh, alcohol itself isn't actually the thing that's fun. It's just always there when I am having fun, and so I've associated drinking with fun. That also means that there's going to be activities that when you're not drinking, you realize you don't actually find very fun. One of the things that I realized when I quit drinking 3 years ago was that I really didn't know what I like to do for fun. I spent a lot of my free time at breweries. I was a big beer person. Went to a lot of different breweries. That was kind of a really big hobby of mine. That was what I considered fun. But once I took the beer out of that activity, going to breweries was not particularly fun. And if you need alcohol to make something fun, it's probably not very fun to you in the first place. Going to breweries and not drinking is not fun to me, because going to breweries when you're not drinking, there's not really very much to do. It is a place to drink. And the thing is, that's totally okay. But it did leave me with the challenge of, okay, great, now I know what things are not fun anymore. What do I find fun? And this is where I kind of like stood on the threshold of, okay, either I'm going to have an existential crisis where I feel like I'm never going to have fun again, or I take this opportunity to really experiment with loads of different activities and see what I enjoy and see what I don't enjoy, and really get to know myself again. And that was really challenging in the beginning, yes, but has been such a gift in the long run. Now that I wasn't drinking, I had a lot more time and energy to do different things, go out hiking more, which is something that I love to do and kind of never really made time for. I really picked up reading again. I started exercising more, started playing around with different classes, and discovered that I love reformer Pilates, and that's a really big part of my life now. I started hanging out with my friends, doing things like craft nights where we paint birdhouses or painted Christmas baubles, really wholesome, fun movie nights with the girls, going out on dinner dates where I could really enjoy the food rather than sort of have it be a sideshow to the cocktails, meeting up with people in coffee shops rather than bars. Also meeting people in bars where they had great non-alcoholic cocktails, which has been such a fun thing to explore in sobriety as well. I think shifting your mindset from, oh, this is going to be really hard, to this is an opportunity to learn something new is really a big part of it. I think the other side of it that really makes me feel a certain type of way, really hits me in the heart, is that learning what fun is in sobriety for me really put me in touch with my inner child. The reality is there was a time in my life where I had loads of fun, more fun than I've ever had without alcohol. Trying to remember that I'm not trying to achieve something that I've never experienced, but more trying to get back to that kind of state of wonder and joy has been huge for me. And the reality is, you know, with time and practice, I do have more fun today than I truly ever did when I was drinking. One, because it's very real and a conscious choice to sort of be present and have fun and connect with people and appreciate the moment and really lean into it without sort of the need for a substance to help me experience it more. And because I feel like it's allowed me to unlock a part of myself that kind of got pushed aside when I grew up and started drinking, and that sort of became the fun adult thing to do, where I feel like I've really connected with that childhood me that was so creative and so interested and curious and fun-loving. Now I've celebrated 3 birthdays sober. I quit drinking in February of 2022, right before my birthday, and that was sort of my first holiday special event where I wasn't drinking, and I had all my friends coming, which I'd like never throw birthday parties. This was, I don't know why I thought that would be a great idea for my first sober birthday, but like we went all out. And I remember being so nervous the day of that I wouldn't have fun, that it would be really awkward for me, and that other people would be drinking and that I would feel jealous or left out. And I'm so glad that I had my birthday that day, because it was such a eye-opening experience. I had like a sparkling rosé in my little coupe. I got all dressed up, really like sat down, enjoyed getting ready, played music, did the whole thing. People started coming. I was hanging out with my favorite people in the world. We cooked an incredible meal from scratch that was so delicious. And this beautiful birthday cake. It was like raspberry and lemon, I think. And it was just the whole night. I stayed up late talking to everybody. We were dancing. The whole thing was such an amazing practice where I went to bed that night, not drunk, obviously. Room was not spinning around me. And I felt such gratitude. Like I had so much fun. I felt so proud of myself for putting myself in an uncomfortable position to learn and see that everything was going to be okay, and even better for the fact that I wasn't drinking. And obviously the great news was too, I woke up the next day feeling amazing, no hangover, and got to enjoy, you know, the rest of my birthday weekend as well. So even if your birthday is not coming up, even if you're not planning on quitting drinking forever, why not hang out with your friends or go on a date where you make a conscious decision not to drink, just to see how it feels, just to see how uncomfortable you are, how you can have fun without alcohol, sort of, even if alcohol is just sort of a background part of fun for you. What does it look like when you make a conscious decision not to drink while you're doing sort of these fun things? Where can you find more innocent, unimbibed joy in your day-to-day life? And how empowered would you feel if you didn't need a substance to feel like you can have fun? As always, I feel like I end all my videos like this, but I have so much more fun, and I'm so much more grateful and so much happier now that I don't drink than when I was drinking. And I remember watching videos like this and hearing people say stuff like that and being like, you're full of shit. I don't believe you. And now being on the other side of it, I get it. Ultimately, my goal in making videos like this and talking about things like this is to help other people see that too. If I can reach one person who's sort of in that in-between place, afraid of what the future might look like without alcohol, thinking about whether their life might be better without drinking, if I can reach one person to show them like, hey, I'm in my 20s, I have an amazing time, I go out, I hang out with my friends, I have loads of fun, and also being able to prioritize all these other goals in my life that I just didn't have the time and energy for when I was drinking, I mean, that is a win for me. I think I will be vlogging my birthday this year. I have already published a couple of vlogs on my channel, which are super fun to film, and I love having them to look back on. I made a vlog on my soberversary, my 3-year soberversary. If you wanted to check that out, I'll have that linked at the end of the video and in the description. But I am very much looking forward to having a fun time. And the best part is I have my whole long weekend to look forward to, and I'm not going to be hungover for any of it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment to share encouragement if you are on your sober journey, or if you are at the beginning stages. What are some things that you're afraid of? What are some things that scare you about, fun without alcohol? Join in on the conversation. I love seeing people talking about sobriety in the comments. Having this conversation is such a big part of it, where we're really coming to a place in our society where we're open about our relationships with alcohol without it sort of fitting into some box or having to hit a rock bottom or be an alcoholic or anything like that. This is an open space to chat about drinking, even if it's not something dramatic. And I hope you feel like it's a safe place to do so. I will be posting my birthday vlog probably sometime next week. I hope you have an amazing day whenever you're watching this, a great weekend if you're close to the weekend. And if you do have a birthday coming up, maybe you'll consider celebrating it sober this year, just to see how it feels. I appreciate you being here as always, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Until then,